And we are back on the LeBun channel with the pet that we're looking for on the very first turn. This is the giant squirrel, the Malabar giant squirrel, which you should look up because it actually looks like that and it's a really cool animal. Fantastic sprite here, although I think some people might have assumed that Team Wood just kind of colorified a animal that was not really colorful like they did with Nyala, but no, this is really what they look like. It's a pet I really like that's been pretty overshadowed by the Pink Robin, in my opinion, which is another tier 2 pet, which has a really weird niche use case. And so you don't see a lot of giant squirrel. Actually, I have done a lot of customs, like so much customs in the last 3 weeks or so, and the only giant squirrels I ever saw were my own, which also makes sense because I'm pretty sure it's a mini pack pet. But the way it works is after its attack, it gives its own held food perk to pets on the back of both teams. This makes it a preparedness pet, which you want to prepare for the ability. The most common way to use it is with fairy dust to make the enemy team jump to the front, but I am using the Hare here. Hare is another pretty forgettable unit, I'll be honest. It was added to Puppy Pack as a replacement for Raccoon, which went up a few tiers and customs. Raccoon's got such a strange history here that I can't remember when it went up tiers and when it changed to customs, but Hare is kind of the stand-in, where instead of stealing a perk, it just copies a random perk from the enemy team. But in this case, that's going to end up being useful, because where for the Raccoon you have to grab from the front, the giant squirrel putting it in the back, and then the Hare grabbing a random one can grab a chosen perk at the back of the team. Now in this case, the chosen perk at the back of the team was the enemy's perk, and it was chocolate cake, which is going to tragically lose us this game. I'm pretty sure we would have won or at least drawn without that chocolate cake, but there's some nice reminders of what this used to be like in test server, because the giant squirrel was really broken. But yeah, so the idea here is to place perks that we want at the back of the team. The Frost Wolf here is helpful to remove some of the perks that they may have, so that it's more likely that the perk we want to grab is being grabbed by the Hare, which in later attempts I found it was actually pretty uncommon not to get the perk I wanted, and if it was a perk I didn't want, it was usually better. And you can see here I took a lemon. Now the issue with giant squirrel's trigger, and I think the reason it's not very used, is that it's after attack, which means any sort of armor like Brussels sprout or melon. I almost said pumpkin. Man, why doesn't this game have pumpkins yet? It just makes sense. But any sort of armor that breaks after one thing is gone after one. So no coconut or anything. But with lemon, it has 2 triggers, so we're actually able to pull this off. And now we can see this is actually pretty much the full squad envisioned. The elephant seal here is going to get the lemon in battle, which will scale the whole team, which isn't that many. And then the axolotl is giving us scaling by letting the Hare grab perks over and over again. Axolotl is a pet you see a lot of, and unfortunately I actually have 2 videos about it stored up, which isn't great. Well, not about it, but significantly using it. But in neither of them I think I'm really crossing a line. You'll see things with like good dog, and you can see the combo in action. I should be talking about that. You can see I grabbed those lemons, I'm getting scaled for it. The elephant seal is getting perks. But the real champion here right now is the axolotl, but that will change because this is actually going to be a video with 2 runs. And I would ask you to stay around for the second run, because this video is kind of about the second run, but oh, I just faced grounded. That's the first I've recorded this voiceover. I'll be honest, guys. It's been over 10 takes on this voiceover. I have a lot of ums. I'm trying to work on my ums, but we're getting there. But that was grounded, and that's the first time I noticed that. But also, I wanted to kind of tell the story the way I experienced that, and the fact of the matter is I kind of had an epiphany, and you can see it right there. It's Strawberry. Strawberry is actually the perfect perk to use for this build, but I will show you that in the second run. You can see here, I think we are almost scaled to 50-50 on the Hare, and there's just great things here going synergistically, because there's so much perk gain happening for the axolotl. It's giving perks to the elephant seal, the elephant skills getting permanently scaled, and then giving tempo scaling at the same time. These lemons, though, haven't really mattered that much. In most of these matches, it's kind of just flavor, at least when you have a 50-50 Hare. So we're going to change things and make the Hare actually buff the entire team. But here... Oh, I thought this was Troubadour. Sorry, I got knocked out by a different Troubadour Big One team earlier today. But yeah, I'm going to get us into Run 2. And yeah, Run 2 is really what this video is all about. You're going to see here I'm grabbing a Weevil. We've already got some synergy here with Kiwi and... Or not Kiwi, Hummingbird and Weevil. Getting that nice little feed trigger. So we've got 2 3-3s, and we've got the draw. That's all we care about. If you draw or win in one of the first 2 rounds, you're fine. It's a fine run. And so here, I'm actually going to sell the pill bug so that we can get the 2 Weevils, because I'm going to play really greedy this game. Like taking TV from Mongoose on 2 life left, and just getting level ups when I should have been searching for other pets. But I don't need to do much searching, because here is the Hare and here is the giant squirrel. Now, you guys know, these are the plan, but what's the plan with Strawberry? Why is Strawberry so good? Well, Strawberry, its regular ability, which actually just saved us there, and our combo... I actually don't know if our combo mattered. I don't think it did. But the Strawberry is so good, for one, because it gives stats to the pet at the back on Faint. If you're giving this to the pet at the back, it's not going to buff itself on Faint, so it's a useless perk. I didn't show it in the last run, but I lost a lot of games because the lemon that things had wasn't working out. Because they would have the lemon, and then it would be the difference maker. So having a perk that is just useless, it kind of works as like an ailment here, because it's a useless Strawberry. That's great. But the real way this shines is with pets that make Strawberry better on your team. We'll be grabbing some stuff like that. I'm going to be showing a clip directly after this battle of one of the combos I have that was like an early game tempo combo. I didn't end up using it in this run, but I still wanted to show it off. We're going to win that, and I will show you that clip real quick. But yeah, using Atlantic Puffin there with the drop bear and jumping to the front to get used to the Strawberry that was at the back before the Puffin. It's all very intricate and fun, and it's usable for about 3 rounds. So it's not really what this run is about, but I do have it in the pack, and it actually did help me on some of my furthest ones. Unfortunate loss here just by 1, but that's okay. We've still got 3 health, which is more than enough when you're on the customs grind for cool things, and more importantly, we have just high rolled axolotls. We have the effect of a level 3 axolotl here, and we're going to be getting that effect 2 times on this Hare for now, and it will just be getting better and better. Already our Hare is 1817, which is a completely not too shabby unit. But we are looking for, I'm sure you've guessed it, Sparrow. Now Sparrow is a really cool, unique use case here, just because I mentioned earlier that the armors that break after 1 hit, like Coconut there, which, man, it would have been kind of nice to get a Coconut here instead of Strawberry, but oh well. That's the build. But the Sparrow allows the Strawberry to work as armor, but it actually has 2 triggers. So, like Lemon, we can actually use it and distribute it to the other enemy. Now, obviously, they don't have Sparrow, so theirs doesn't act as armor. So you can see the effect not happen here because of their raccoon. However, we do just kind of barely squeeze by the scaling that this crazy axolotl high roll has gotten us. I do want to mention that most of these were, and here's that greed I was talking about, all of that straight on the Hare, kind of not the best way to do this. But most of these I actually ended up using Elephant Seal, just so happens the 2 runs I had were Axolotl. But Axolotl was actually a pretty uncommon pick for me, but I happened to high roll it here. And here's where this gets particularly fun. The Velociraptor. Now, Velociraptor got changed in the Star Pack rework. It used to give coconut to strawberry pets. That's cool. That if it was a double working coconut, this would have been a great build. But it's actually even better here, and you can see I'm embarrassed. In the replay, I slowed it down because I thought this is when the thing happened. It didn't happen here. I just got my Hare to like 50-50 for what that's worth. But here we are with the Velociraptor, and now it steals strawberries and gives the entire team +2/+3, I believe, whenever it steals a strawberry. That happens after an attack. Now, luckily, my giant squirrel's going to go off first, and so you can see the build here. I am just milking my team with strawberries. I don't think that's the right verbiage, but you can see this is going to get really good really fast. The Hare is getting all these triggers with the Axolotl, and it's getting healed by the strawberries from the Velociraptor. It's getting the armor from the Sparrow. It's healing the whole team. You can see here, this person had 3 coconuts, and I didn't need to steal a coconut to win. I got the strawberry all times, and that might have even been better. And now we've got the level 2 Velociraptor, and obviously the great guy here is probably the Axolotl, although I had a lot of strong attempts in this without Axolotl, and I just want that to be known. Like, look, our team has scaled mostly with Velociraptor, well, like half with Velociraptor there, enough to get through Sea Serpent snipes. Like, behemoths get shot down by Sea Serpent snipes. That's crazy. And so, since this Velociraptor is stealing so many strawberries per turn, it's gonna get scaled to 50-50 here by the Axolotl. And then the Sparrow is getting a ton from the giant squirrel. And I'll just be honest, I was really, really proud of this build. I felt really good about it. Here I'm just rolling down trying to find the Velociraptor. But I was really proud of this, and I really wanted to show it off. I wanted it to be the first video I had back. I would say not the last, but I've learned literally never ever promise something ever. That's kind of my new role. And we're going to win that. And that's what I had for you today. But thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope you like this build, because I really did.